Good morning and welcome back to this garden room build. Steve Cronin here from the Home Renovation Experts on this 5x3 beautiful garden room. So I'll bring you inside for those of you who've not been keeping up to date. First question, why? Great project. So as you can see, she's all painted on the inside now. Love that red. But my plan for today is getting the fascias and soffits on, ready for me to glue the roof because I've got all my components now. Everything is finally on site. So I'll get me soffits and fascias on. I'll show you why I want to do that first, because it makes life a bit easier for gluing down the roof later on. So that is my plan. So I've got myself a lovely, massive hot drink. I don't know if I've shown you guys this actually. If you want a work cup, this is it. I have no idea how big this thing is, but it's bloody massive. Lasts me pretty much the entire day and keeps things nuclear hot. So there you go, a bit of product advertising for you there. Lovely. For those of you who are constant lovely watchers, I wasn't here yesterday. I had a day off and we went to a pumpkin festival. It was very nice. And for Bob, who's out there somewhere in video land on YouTube viewing, said that he's been watching a few of my older videos. He's like, you know what, mate, the beard needs to come back. Well, there you go, Squire. It's on its way. It's winter time, isn't it? Got to grow one out then. All right, I'll be back in a second. Right, so cracking on nicely with the soffits. See, this one is on, but it already was, so I'm not cheating. And you come around this way. See, side soffit is now on. It's on the back and the other side. I've put this first bit of fascia on, as you can see, tacked in nicely. Now you will notice that I've not fit this bit yet and I've put it up. You know, that don't matter too much because I'll still be able to get that slid in and pivoted in, because the other end is nice and loose still. So I can work that as I need to. The reason I've done that is just to crack on a bit, because what I realised I need to do is I need to figure out where my downlights are going to be. So I need to run the cables for that first. And I already started that one. It's like, all right, fair enough. But what I wanted to do was, two ways of doing these long fascias when you're on a Jack Jones is to either measure and cut it to the length, which is perfectly fine and easy doable. Well, I say easy. Sometimes trying to get a tape measure on there, drag it all the way through and measure it to the other end, just doesn't always work particularly well. Now my sides are just, what are they, 4.2-ish or something like that. So what I do is, occasionally, is I'll just grab that, hold it up, know that I've got an overlap this end, overlap the other end, tack it up, done. And then all I've got to do, where did I put it? There it is grab the odd fine tool, and as you're looking at it, turn it in this case this way, and just follow the wood all the way up, trimming it as I go. That way I end up with a nice flush finish, exactly the right length. So if you have measured it, it doesn't matter too much. And if it's not, it doesn't have to be a particularly neat cut, because on the corners you have to put on these lovely finishy bits anyway, which kind of covers the edge and makes it all look absolutely neat and lovely. Two ways when you're fitting your soffit as well to cut it. I've used the circular saw, which does blow it out a bit, but at the end of the day, it hasn't got to be neat because it's hidden, in my case, right back there. And as long as the cut edge, you know, I'm gonna have batten on here and metal sheeting, so that's well out of the way. No one's ever gonna see it. See that bit there? Doesn't matter at all, because what you have on those bits is, if I can find what I had prepared earlier, you can look at my nostrils for a second. Where did it go? I've lost it. Oh no, it's hiding on a white thing. It's camouflaged. It's these sort of trims, okay? So you can see that there, it's got that little ridge in the center, and all this would do is, once I'm happy, everything's in place, I cut it to fit, put it in there, and then stick it on. Job is good, covers up everything. So that is how you do it. So as long as everything's roughly what it needs to be, all the trims, everything else will neaten up all those edges and make it absolutely perfect. So yeah, I quite enjoy doing fascia stuff. It's one of those kind of nice finishing bits. It's just sussing out the spacing for these lights is going to be my next job, because it's going to be a bit of a pain. I've already had a quick go at it like Friday, was it Friday I was here? Try and work it out, and they're just falling on joist no matter which way I do it. So wish me luck, and I'll be back in a minute. Righty dokie. So there you can see, if I scooch up this way, fascias and soffits are now all on. My edge trim there won't go on until I've got the trim of the rubber roof on and done. So basically though, that is it. I'll give it a nice polish up tomorrow. The other thing I was just about to say was, right, sometimes, as I was saying earlier, measuring your lights can be a right arse sometimes, because sometimes it just doesn't equalise perfectly because there's a joist set right in the way and you're just like, oh for fuck. So another way of doing it is, if you can't equalise, So your starting point is say 300 million off of the wall over there somewhere, same the other side. You take that section, you divide it by 5 to give you the correct amount of lights that you're after, or 4, or whatever you're doing, and you're hitting stuff. The other way that I found that you can do it is to look at the building a bit more closer, shall we say. And what I've now decided to do is taking the window, and the door. So what I've now done is I've got a light about 300 mil off the edge, 300 mil off this edge there, and I'm just missing a joist here, which is perfect. Same for the other side, over there, and the door, I've got one just there and one just there. So these ones are going to be slightly closer, but what it's going to do is it's going to illuminate as you come in and out of the office. So normally you'd have them equally spaced throughout the whole soffit, wherever you're going to put them. But sometimes it just doesn't work, no matter which way you do it. You know, we priced for 6 lights. I couldn't do it with 6, I couldn't do it with 5. You know, you're going to 4, he's like, well, what's the point? So this is the only way I could get it to look equalised, and it will look equalised, because once it's lit above the window, your brain will automatically go, that makes sense, it's lighting up the window, same the other side, and then a doorway going in, plenty of light to get in and out. So that's that, and that's how I ended up doing it. So that's it, perfect. So my spark can be chuffed, because obviously now this is all up. And yes, and if you are watching, I have marked exactly where everything is, so taking care of you, buddy. So what I'm going to do now is, what am I going to do now? So we've got an uplight here, uplight that side, and then we're going to have 2 on this section over here, because ultimately this trampoline is not going to live here forever. So the plan will be later on, they'll deck this area or do whatever they're going to do with it. So now's the time to put lights here, which will be switched with these ones, so that it lights up that area. So when they're out here getting pissed, basically, fire pit on, chilling out, whatever, they're gonna have some nice light while we're here doing it. There'll also be a socket down that side as well, so they can plug in like a music thing, whatever they're gonna do, however they're gonna rock it, they're good to go. So the garden room provide that service to them. It's just what these garden rooms do. So that is it so far. So like I say, I will now have a go at just running the cables for the uplights into the correct spaces, and then that is it for the day. So marvellous. So if you like what you've seen, have any questions, again, I do apologise, I will get back to everybody. It's just had a long weekend shooting weddings, and then had a family day yesterday picking pumpkins at a pumpkin festival. Very nice. I shall get back to those. Hopefully tonight I get a chance to kind of crack off. So if you're waiting for a response, tonight will be your night. Anyway, so take care everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow.